I'm here with one of the creators of award-winning documentary Ghosts in America's Kitchen. You want to introduce yourself?
Thank you so much. I'm Anthony Werhun, director of James Hemings' Ghost in America's Kitchen.
All right, so we were chatting a little bit before this interview. Please tell everybody a little bit of the history of the documentary and how it came about, because it's just amazing.
I'm blessed to find this subject matter because not a lot of people know about James Hemings. He is one of the most important American stories that has not been told. James Hemings is America's unknown culinary founding father. If you've ever had macaroni and cheese, French fries, firm ice cream.
Toddler food, my favorite.
Yeah, oh, me too. We have the same palate. I have a feeling you've had these foods, then you have been touched by James Hemings. So he's the culinary founding father of America. The reason we don't know about him, he was also the enslaved property of Thomas Jefferson. His legacy has gone untold, unexamined. I was blessed to find Ashbel McElveen, a modern chef who has made it his life's work to uncover the legacy of James Hemings, and his story in and of itself is profound and aligns with Hemings. He is the person to tell this story, to get it out into the zeitgeist of America, and that's what we're trying to do. We're excited about it.
So tell us a little bit about how you found the story and how did you research this and what kind of information did you find?
Years ago, a friend of mine out in LA was hoping to make a historical narrative based on an untold American story, and he wanted me to help him write it. One of the stories discussed was James Hemings. We only knew a little bit, but immediately I became enthralled with this story. We did as much research as we could. There's a few things on Google. Yeah. You can find a little bit. It wasn't quite enough, you know. We wrote some things, but it was sitting on the vine, and then by chance, a friend of mine introduces me to a gentleman who is the president of the James Hemings Society. Unbelievable coincidence, because very few people know about James Hemings.
It's not coincidence, it's fate, but continue.
So Chef Ashbel McElveen and I started to collaborate, and we found each other to just be equally passionate about this subject. Ashbel uses a lot of very intuitive, creative, and brilliant ways, triangulating diary entries from various people, historical records, to really paint a picture of James Hemings, what his life was like, who he was. It fills in the blank where the history books have not been able to. And his personal story, his spiritual connection to James Hemings has been apparent to me from the beginning, and I hope that comes across in the film. We're just excited to get his story and James Hemings' story out.
So have you always been a foodie, or are you just interested in this particular one?
So, as you mentioned, having the palate of a 6-year-old, I am a foodie, but in limited fashion. I wish that I had a more expanded palate. What I'm a big fan of history. I'm very, very, very interested in this country. It's such a unique place, such a unique story. And there are so many gray areas, and none grayer than the relationship between James Hemings and Thomas Jefferson. This is not a simple story. It's not just a simple story of James Hemings being the good guy and Jefferson being the bad guy, although you could read it that way. There is this nuance and this complexity that is, honestly, it's still the story that paints our country today. These conversations have never been more relevant than they are now, and it's an important film in that respect.
Well, congratulations on your award. Well deserved. You seem to have a lot of work and effort into this, and I hope you guys continue your success, and I hope I get to watch it, and I hope it streams everywhere, because it sounds like an amazing story. So thank you guys so much for being here, too.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. Thank you to the Northeast Film Festival.
Thank you.